Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Tokyo.
Nice to meet you, Tokyo.
日本のカタットチャンネルへようこそ。
yeah, thank you for joining me today. I
Thank you
want
for
to
having
start
me.
off, of course. I would like you to introduce yourself. Like, how would you describe yourself? Like, who are you, right? What's your like lore about yourself?
Started out doing sex work online, doing OnlyFans and stuff because my friend got me into that. And I had basically no platform when I started doing that. I just I needed a way to make money and I couldn't get a job. So
Yeah,
got into that. And then that kind of just led me into making like friends in the trans community and like actually like having online friends and community and then realizing I needed to kind of promote myself in other ways that weren't just like lewd platforms. So I
yeah.
started doing TikTok and Instagram and stuff. And here we are.
Did you want to be like an influencer when you were younger, or is that something that you just kind of like fell into?
Kind of both, actually. I really wanted to be an actor when I was a kid. I wanted to and then I wanted to be like I just wanted to be famous as a kid. Like I just loved having attention on me and like I loved like entertaining and like trying to be entertaining, but I've also had really bad social anxiety my whole life and it's definitely fluctuated in how bad that's been. So like while I always wanted to do that kind of thing, I was never like capable of getting into it until I kind of had to in order to pay the bills. Um,
Yeah,
so it was kind of like it kind of felt like it was thrown upon me, but also is still what I've wanted to do my whole life.
yeah. How has that been? Have you like? I know you've had at least some degree of success. But like a lot of the stats are like hidden. So how has that like OnlyFans journey been for you? I guess like did you find instant success, or was that like a slow process, or like
It was very slow for me because, again, I started with pretty much no social media presence. So I mainly just started on Twitter, and I was lucky because I had a friend who was doing pretty well on there, and she was in the top 1%, and she's the one who like introduced me to it, and so she was retweeting me. So I got really lucky with that. But that only got me so far, from the retweets from her. So like I had to, figure out how to make connections and really get myself out there and market myself. It was not instant success though, because I had no idea what I was doing. So I was really making like for the first year around like $20 a month, like to like almost nothing to like I think I made like $100 at like month 12. And then the
yeah,
next year still wasn't that big of growth. Um, Really what blew me up was my bottom surgery videos.
yeah,
Yeah. That kind of got, I think that kind of just got people thinking about or interested in my anatomy for some reason. But yeah, those videos doing well on TikTok and stuff is actually what like really launched my OnlyFans.
yeah? That's interesting because there's always that stereotype that they want the one thing that happens before that surgery, but
Yeah, I think I got kind of lucky because I have heard that people do struggle with their audience who do sex work and get bottom surgery because it's such a change. But I think I just hit like a weird like thing where people were like bottom surgery is like sort of like a new subject like people are learning about and think I did it at a time where people were just so curious that those videos blew up so much that it ended up helping me a lot more than hurting.
yeah. What was your bottom surgery experience like? Like, do you want to talk about that? Or okay, I guess that's the other thing because you were like, oh, I don't know what I can say. I don't know what I should or shouldn't ask. You can always just tell me to like f off on a topic if you
Oh,
want me to. So
pretty much nothing's off limits for me.
okay. So how has your like bottom surgery experience been? Or like, do you want to talk about that? I know you have your YouTube videos. I'm plugging your channel right here. Go watch those videos. But yeah.
I mean, it's a lot to summarize.
We have
Um,
time.
but yeah, I do plan on getting really into depth into it on my channel and have done a couple Q&As so far. But yeah, I'd just say like overall, definitely net positive for me. One of the best decisions I ever made. Pretty much no regrets. I don't regret like the surgeon I chose. Only regrets I would say are not doing my aftercare well enough. So like I lost some depth because I wasn't dilating enough, that type of stuff.
Mhm.
But like yeah, I don't know. It's just been like 2.5 years now, and I'm kind of just at the point where I'm like, awesome, fuck yeah, did it, done. Like we're good, like chilling with the situation now. Um, I I squirted for the I saw I squirted for the first time recently,
Yeah.
which like I didn't know was possible. Um,
Yeah.
so
What was
like
that
that
experience like? Oh my gosh. Was that
I was like, it's so funny because I always had heard that like I wouldn't be able to do that afterwards, and I just like figured like, okay, that makes sense. Like I'm not built to do that. Like, but I always
yeah.
kind of just like joked and like thought in the back of my mind like I'm gonna be able to do it one day. I'm gonna break science,
Yeah.
and I still don't know how it happened, but I caught it on camera too. I was like, while I was recording my OnlyFans content, so like I have the proof, and I'm just like, y'all, this just happened. I don't fucking know how, but really cool. Um, I, I don't know. I don't know how it happened. I almost want to call my surgeon, but it's like kind of embarrassing to ask.
Yeah. I mean, you're out here pushing the limits of science with that. Like, I,
'Cause
I, I also thought that wasn't even possible.
yeah, about a month after surgery, I had a wet dream, right? And so like I woke up
Hmm.
and like a puddle of I don't know what the technical term for it even is, but like substance. And
Yeah.
um sorry, if, your editors are probably gonna or if your editors is probably gonna want
I'm
to
the
edit out.
editor, so it's fine.
Okay. um and so I asked the nurse, one of the nurses for my surgeon, and they were like, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one because I don't really know. And so they asked the surgeon and called me back the next day, and they were like, yeah, so apparently there's like these glands around your prostate that will like give up some secretions when you sometimes. So that's cool. And like the nurse didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm learning all kinds of new things about, what's possible. Do you want to talk about like your surgeon at all? Like, or is it like a shout out to my barber kind of situation, or is it like,
Yeah, shout outs to Thomas Satterwhite at Align Surgical. Um, dude's awesome. I got really he's really hot, first of all. So I got really nervous when he walked in the room because he's like also kind of tall, and I was like on Oxy, and
yeah?
I was like meeting a celebrity. I don't know. It was cool.
Is he like a celebrity surgeon? I've never I don't know enough about like surgeons.
I
So
don't think he's super popular, and he's like he's gotten a little bit more popular. I almost like I can't help but wonder like I really don't know how big my reach is, but part of me feels like I helped popularize him because it felt like his
yeah,
clinic had like 2 or 3 surgeons when I went there, but then I started talking about him a lot, and like and now they've got like a group of surgeons. Like they're like a big team now. And I see more and more people talk about him. So I might have done that. I hope I did.
yeah. Put you like put it on your resume.
Yo, any surgeons need a fucking mascot? I'm here for you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's crazy. And you got that like 2.5 years ago. And you said like no regrets, because that's one thing that like I talk to a lot of D-trans people, and a lot of them are like, they're like, oh, I had complications, and then it like ruined my life. Is that it sounds like that's not your experience at all. So like, would you say there's any like aspects that you dislike, or is it all like for the other than like the minor length thing that you mentioned? But like, I'm talking a lot. Is the question
No, you're
coming through?
good.
Does that
No,
make
yeah.
sense?
No, yeah, I get you. Like, it's kind of just like, is there anything like
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I dislike or okay, so like I had a little bit of an issue at first because it felt like um mine doesn't look super like a cis one. But I've come to the point where both cis ones vary a lot, and so like it's possible a cis one could look like how mine looks. Not sure. if there is one out there. But so my inner lips get like really puffy for some
Yeah.
reason. Not sure why. And so people mistake my urethra for my canal. So I've had a couple people try to finger my urethra, which is not a good time.
Yeah, I
And
imagine.
because the canal's like kind of hidden, so like I've got these like pink lips that get really puffy, and that's like what leads to the urethra. And then like right under it is like where the canal is like kind of hidden. So that's one thing I felt uncomfortable about for a little bit, but now I actually have learned to embrace it. Because I really like how puffy it gets, because it's really unique, and a lot of my fans also really seem to like that as well. I was kind of self-conscious about it for a while and tried to hide it, but then I started embracing it, and my fans are like, "Whoa, it gets so puffy and cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, it does."
Yeah. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, that's the
Cool.
only thing I can think of as far as like something I was like unhappy about, or at least conflicted about for a little bit. Um I'm surprised to hear that you've talked to, sounds like, multiple people who are unhappy with theirs, because I've talked to a lot of people who have gotten bottom surgery, and my experience has been the opposite. I haven't ran into a single person with any regrets as far as I can remember. I do know one girl who says she experiences a bit of pain when she inserts things, um, but still, I don't think regrets the surgery. It's just kind of like unfortunate. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, no, no, no. I've also talked to very many people that like have no regrets or like minor regrets, but like they still would have done it again in a heartbeat. I've interviewed a lot of D-trans people, so like it's probably just like a selection bias kind of thing. So I was just
Mm.
curious because a lot of my audience is like familiar with those, so I just want to like address it. But yeah. And okay, so you said you did that 2.5 years ago. I'm curious how long you waited after, or like, okay, how'd you know you were trans? I guess we'll just start there, right? Like, how did that happen? Or like, what's your like trans journey like?
I don't have a lot of memories from childhood, um, but I do have memories of like wanting to be feminine. Like those are some of my oldest memories. Um,
Mhm.
and I always kind of like was drawn to like the tomboy type girls growing up, and realized like that's the type of girl I wanted to be. So like I for a while I was kind of overcompensating with femininity, um and just trying to be like as girl as I possibly could. Um and something bottom surgery especially, like just like I don't know, feeling more and more comfortable over time helped me realize I'm a little more boy than I actually thought. Overcompensating too. Before I tried coming out as trans, I thought I was purely gay. I thought I was just like a guy who liked guys, because I didn't realize like fucking with my gender could be a thing. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I must be gay, because like them being when I was like when I found myself like attracted to girls and like trying to flirt with girls, it made me feel even weirder because I was like a guy. Like, but then like when I would flirt with guys, it made me feel more femme subconsciously. So like that just like made more sense to me, even though I don't fuck with cis guys super heavy, but do kind of now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
feel like I trailed off there. I don't remember where that question started.
You're fine. Oh, I lost you. Where'd you go?
My bad. I I misclicked. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I got scared that I broke something on my side. But what
No, I
was the
clicked.
question? Oh, I asked like your transition journey, I guess.
Oh, I didn't
How
trail
long?
off then. Good.
Yeah, no, you definitely hit it on the mark. How long have you been transitioning?
Uh, I have it written in my notes app because I constantly forget. I know people have like their like trans birthday by heart, but I just like I don't know. That never was super important to me, but I
Yeah.
wrote it down in my notes app so I can tell you exactly the day I came out. Um,
Base.
it was July 6th. I just had my anniversary. It was July 6th,
Happy anniversary.
2018.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And
I
like how okay.
I tried coming out when I was like 14. Uh I I had gotten heavily involved in the furry community in high school. And I met a trans furry from Quebec before I even knew what being like transgender even really was.
Yeah.
And he taught me a lot, and that kind of got me thinking about my gender stuff. And I was like, wait, this makes a lot of sense. I want to be a girl. And so I tried coming out, and that didn't go over too well with my friends and family. So I kind of, it wasn't like, it was more just like they were all confused. And so it just made it hard for me to
Yeah.
feel comfortable. It wasn't much hate I was experiencing. It was more just like everyone was confused. And so I just like went back into the closet because I was just like made to feel so uncomfortable and like not welcome at all times.
Yeah.
And then I was just spiraled, like really bad spiral for the next few years. And then met my current boyfriend, moved in with him, finally felt safe to try to be who I was, and so came out again.
And how has that been? Or like, and again, you can tell me to F off about any topic, but like, are you like, what has your social life interactions been like? And you like once you moved in with your boyfriend and came out again, was it kind of just like accepting? Was it like disowning? Was it like, like
Um, uh, Me and my mom clashed a little bit. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to get too into like that. But
that's
yeah,
okay.
I
Yeah.
got. Me and my mom are cool now. So that's good.
Yeah.
But that was really the only conflict I experienced because I didn't really have any friends at the time and wasn't in talks with like family outside of my mom, dad, and brother. Um, and so socially, like my boyfriend was very accepting and his family was very accepting, so I got super lucky there. And that's
Yeah.
all that really mattered at the time.
Awesome. You mentioned being part of the furry community. Isn't related to you, but did you hear that gay furries hacked the Heritage Foundation?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. Shouts
That's
out to them.
base.
Yeah, no,
Shout out to them.
I was reading some of the like supposed like chats between one of them and what's his name, Mike Howell.
Yeah,
Um, and if that's real, that I don't know, that makes me feel a lot better. Like
yeah.
they're too stupid to win this fight. They don't understand how technology works.
Real. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Are you still part of the furry community, or would you say that like you're not like as involved in that anymore?
Oh yeah, I am. I'd say I'm pretty heavily, and but like most of my server is gay furries, and most of my friends are gay furries. And I pretty much anytime I'm socializing is usually like in furry worlds and VR chat.
Yeah. Is that how you spend a lot of your time, like VR chat, or like? Let me rephrase that. How do you spend a lot of your time nowadays, or like, what's a day in the life as Kitty Kim's?
I've been spending most of my days just working, honestly, like being active on different social medias to pay my debts um,
Yeah.
from various things, bottom surgery being one of them. Um, yeah, Dan, like I just been busy as hell. Like I do not have as much free time as I would like. Just grinding and melting my brain. I also play guitar and VR chat.
Bass. Do you have like a favorite song of that you play on your guitar, or like, can I ask you to play it right here, or is that too much? Is that asking too much?
Um, yeah. I also don't have it set up so that I can feed the audio through
Oh,
Discord.
yeah,
It'd
yeah,
have to be
yeah, yeah,
through the
yeah.
mic, so it wouldn't sound very good. Maybe next time, if there's a
Okay.
next time.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to set that up. I can't do it with Ableton, so I have to learn FL Studio now so that I can play it through Discord because for whatever reason the software doesn't want to talk to Ableton. Uh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I get really nervous about playing live.
you're
I
fine. You're fine.
I really struggle playing consistently, so like I'll probably mess up a lot more than I would like to.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I wouldn't even know because I don't know how to play guitar. So I'd be like, "That sounds great," and you'd be like, "Oh, I'm messing up so much," but I'd be like, "Rock star." Oh my gosh. Sorry. Let Let me see. Let me see. I do have some questions from people in the server. Let me.
That's so cool.
How do you take your coffee?
It really strong and really black.
Base.
I just
Okay.
grind up a fuck ton of beans and stick it in the French press every morning and uh drink it until I get the shakes.
That's definitely a strategy to take with coffee. Let me see. Let me see. And then they also asked, "What's your favorite drink?"
Like alcohol or just in general?
You can take that however you like.
Mango lassi mango. This is this Indian like mango thing they like mash up with like ice cream, I think, and it's
Yeah.
so bomb.
Base.
I just had one for the first time recently because we've been getting a lot of Indian food, and I think they brought a bunch of free ones to the table. Yeah, that's how we tried them first. They brought 3 free mango lassis, and they're so bomb. There's this Indian place nearby, and it's like, LA has really bomb Indian food.
Oh, you live in LA?
Yeah.
Have you always lived in LA, or did you like move there with your like online
Yeah.
stardom?
Okay. Well, so like LA people, it's not technically LA. It's LA County. It's like right outside of LA.
Yeah.
And I grew up most of my life here, ages like 1 to like 18, I think. And
Yeah.
then I lived in Oregon for 5 years, and then Florida for a year, and now I've been back here for a year.
Nice. Nice. You don't we don't have to talk about it, but you want to talk about like that journey of like moving around the country or like different things, I don't know, different things you noticed or just experiences that you had, or is there anything of that you want to mention here?
Uh, just that I was surprised how much I liked Florida and how
Hmm.
welcoming the area I was in was, because everyone told me I was a fucking idiot for moving there as a trans person. Um,
Yeah.
and but like Sarasota, Florida is the most welcoming place I've ever been to as far as like queer people. Like there's a lot of queerness around Sarasota, and it's a beautiful place. The beaches, like the restaurants, the Greek food, like oh my God. So, yeah, it was really nice to like be able to experience the beauty of a place that I thought originally had none.
Yeah.
um, um, uh, I it's just so interesting because like we lived in Central Oregon for 5 years, me and my boyfriend, and we would get stares like from old people like constantly. Like anytime we'd go anywhere, we would just get like mogged, like, and it just always felt so weird. And even here, like this is a like pretty red area outside of Los Angeles. So like a lot of just old ass conservative white middle class parents around the place, all over the place, really. Um,
Yeah.
and I just traveling across the country twice made me realize safety a lot of the time has more to do with a specific area rather than like a state or county even.
Yeah. What had you move out of Florida if it was like, like it sounds like it was a fan favorite of yours. Um,
Um, what there was a lot of reasons actually that had to do with my boyfriend and his family mainly.
gotcha.
So yeah, I don't want to get too much into their business,
Yeah, that's
but
fine, that's fine.
I live with my boyfriend, so I've been following them around the country.
Yeah. What's your favorite color?
I don't have a favorite color, because color like that's like having a favorite musical note to me. It's all about context. I think every color can be really, really, really good in the right context.
Yeah, every color? Or do you think there's a color that can't be good in a context?
I
Like, have you
don't
ever seen a color that you're like, I just don't vibe with that one? I like all of them except for that one.
I don't think so because like I've definitely like Like there's definitely colors that are in bad context, like colors that don't belong, but like I think every color can have a beautiful context, like every musical note.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Do you have a
um
favorite? Oh, sorry.
I'm not trying to seem like deep or like I don't know like because that's I I guess if I had to choose one, I'd maybe say pink, just because like I don't know, it just seems like the obvious one. But like
Yeah.
I think pink looks really bad sometimes. Also,
Yeah. Well, now I gotta ask, what shade of pink? Because there's like dark pinks, there's like light pinks,
I guess
there's
like
like
I guess like pastel pink. Yeah, if I gotta choose, probably pastel pink.
okay, okay, okay. And then, do you have like a favorite? I don't know, context of colors, right? Like a favorite, I don't know, painting or picture or like. Does that make sense? Does the question make sense?
I really like um. Do you know I have DID? I don't know if that's a thing you're aware of.
I've been following you for like years
Okay.
on the internet. I
I
think we're
really
actually mutuals, but
Oh, I don't know who knows what about me. The internet knows more about me than I know about myself at this point. I really like Malachi's colors. Cause he's got like the way his green pops. On his patterns is nice. Um, I don't have anything. I don't have a picture or art of him right now available, but he's got like different tones of brown and then like green accents
Mhm.
um that like kind of glow, and I like that a lot. But I don't know, there's a lot of color combinations that I really like. It's so hard to choose.
It is hard to choose. There are a lot of colors.
It depends on my mood too. Like that's why I got smart lights for all over my house, because I really love being able to like change the environment and the mood. Getting like the color lights for my bathroom is one of the best decisions I have made for myself, because I can just
Yeah.
change the vibe in there constantly. And before, I don't know, I hated going in my bathroom because it just felt like this. It gives hospital vibes when it's like lit like normal bathroom lighting.
Yeah. You're not a fan of hospitals, it sounds like. Anti-hospital.
I, that's not really true actually, because I was vibing when I was recovering from surgery, and I guess that wasn't a hospital though. That was more of a surgery center.
True,
Um
true, true.
um well, yeah, have I really, I don't know. No, hospitals aren't, I don't mind them. I don't mind being in them. I just don't want hospital vibes in my air, in my space.
True, 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 true. That definitely makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I actually
Um,
I actually don't mind hospitals. I kind of like when I injure myself and have to be at the hospital, I'm kind of chilling usually.
yeah, same. Same. But do you want to talk about DID at all, or do you want to avoid that topic?
Sure.
Like,
Well,
what's your experience with that? Like, yeah. I'll just let you rethink on it.
I guess like I always viewed it as like I just had really bad memory issues and identity issues and really vivid imaginary friends is how I always viewed it growing up. Um, and like it just, I don't know, got felt like more real over time, like more intense, I guess.
Hmm.
And then I would just like have these moments constantly, and like it being tied in with the transness just like made it so much more confusing, because I would constantly have these moments where I'm like, all right, I'm feeling pretty comfy in my identity, like I think I know what I want, and then just it just completely flip everything I feel, just like identity wise and like desires, like the way I think just like would just completely flip, and I'd be like, why is literally everything different now? um and
Yeah.
um and then so started just like researching brain stuff, started like with like learning about stuff like that, just like got really interested in like different brain stuff, then started learning about being plural. And I was like, huh, that's interesting thought, like all very, very relatable stuff I'm reading about here. And then the more I read about that, the more it started making sense. And then the more like I started asking myself, like, how split am I up here? And then led into some real mental crises because I didn't know what was going on at all. And then that turned into separate identities. We all just like felt very vague about our identities before, but then we were like, okay, let's try really like figuring out how we each want to identify. And
Yeah.
so that's where the names and the sonas and stuff all came from. Was just like us figuring out who we wanted to be.
Yeah.
If that makes
I'm
sense.
not it well
I
it
know that's not how
it
most plural people describe it, but that's like I've noticed it's like very different for everyone, and that's just like the description that makes the most sense for us.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I guess a question I have is like, would you describe it more as like switching characters, or would you describe it more as like a council? Does that make sense?
Not switching characters, I wouldn't say, but council definitely sounds more right because yeah, we definitely have like meetings and stuff and like ask each other for advice. Um,
So, but back to the community questions. What do people assume about you that is completely false?
um, there were a lot of assumptions being made about me during my D-trans bit recently. That kind of just, well, they started as lies spread by one specific person.
Mhm.
But I kind of addressed this already. People assumed I was like rich, had rich parents that paid for multiple surgeries. I've only had one surgery, and they helped a little bit, but I paid for the bulk of it. Uh, that's kind of it, I guess. People don't really make like crazy assumptions about me usually.
Okay. And then how did you start doing porn? You kind of touched on that already, but do you want to get into like more detail about that?
Um, uh, I've always been like, I guess, like really hypersexual. Um, and so I guess it just like kind of made sense for me to get into. I tried my hand at building websites because that's what my brother does, and uh so I tried doing that. No one wanted to hire me, and then I tried just getting like a normal job. I applied to a Starbucks, a grocery store. I applied to be a janitor somewhere. I applied to a local candy store. No one would hire me. I think I just like, I don't know. I was probably too nervous during my interviews or whatever,
Hmm.
but so like even though porn was something I wanted to do, it was like really scary and kind of all still last resort.
Yeah.
Uh, so like te- I forgot what I was gonna say there actually. But yeah, porn. Am
Okay.
I right?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I keep oh fuck, my brain is having a
No,
hard
you're
time staying
literally
on
so
track.
you were literally so fine. What is your favorite song to play on the guitar?
Probably this melody that I wrote. Um, it's kind. Well, I have this chord progression that I've kind of turned into like a bunch of different melodies that because I can just like play it in different ways and make it sound really different. But um, I'm tempted to try to play with. I'm gonna start sweating if I like put a guitar in my lap though. Like I'm too nervous to try to play it in person. But I have this little melody I wrote. I'm gonna try to start dropping my stuff soon. But I really don't play that much of other people's stuff. I mainly just like fuck around with my own little tunes. I'm really bad at
Yeah.
finishing songs though.
Yeah.
Finishing stuff's hard. I'm like
But
fucking what's his name from Jimmy Neutron, Finbar Calamitous. That's it, right? Yeah, I'm like him.
I have no clue.
I'm like Finbar Calamitous.
How do you derive meaning? Yeah, and then that could either be what you do professionally and or outside of that.
Like out of like just in general. Like what does
It's a
this all mean?
community question. I didn't ask it.
How do I derive me like what does this all mean to me? God, like Can I have some easy questions? Jesus.
Okay, okay, okay.
Wait, no. I want to try to answer. I like good feelings. Okay, so my personal set of beliefs is that we are here to just like do our best. I think this is like some kind of maybe trial or test. I think we are celestial, immortal beings trying to experience mortality for whatever reason. Uh, that's what I believe.
Do you subscribe to like a religion, or is it more just like spiritual?
No, yeah. I grew up Christian, but now it's just like I don't have like a label for what my set of beliefs, I guess, just more spiritual. Like I've experienced what I've experienced, and I definitely believe in higher powers that intertwine us, and the power of like mental energy is like I think it, sorry, words. The power of our mental energy and our thoughts has a lot more weight on reality than science can currently read.
Yeah. Do you want to
That's what
talk
I
about
believe.
your Yeah, yeah. And I vibe with that heavily. And I think there are actually like a lot of like things coming out about like I don't want to say the power of manifestation, but like that's essentially using your brain to like create reality. So
Yeah.
kind of similar to what you're talking about here.
Yeah, and it feels like those ideas like it feels like science and spirituality are merging more and more over time,
Yeah.
like as they learn more about like dimensions and shit. And if I try to start talking about it, I'm gonna sound like a fucking idiot, but like I listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about it, so he's not an idiot, so I can so I believe it.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your upbringing with Christianity?
It was just really lame and boring, honestly. Yeah, it's not like not like super traumatic as far as I remember. But I just had to like go to church camp a lot, and like adults would run up to me and like start speaking in tongues and shit, and it was just like the worst.
Yeah. What does that mean, speaking in tongues? Because doesn't everybody speak with their tongue?
Speaking in tongues is a religious practice some Christians do. That it's sort of like actually, I don't know if it's supposed to be God speaking through. I think it's actually supposed to be a language between you and God. And so it's sort of just babbling nonsense in a way that like feels like it has meaning to you. Um,
Yeah.
but to anyone else, it's just gonna sound like they're about gibberish. But it's supposed to be like you're talking to God in a language that only you and God understand. Pretty sure that's
Gotcha.
what it is.
That is strange that they would run up to you and talk to God at you. But
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be like they were praying for people in tongues. I-
yeah. What kind of Christianity were like what were you a part of? Or like what sect? Is that the right word? What
Honestly, I
like
don't even know. My mom never told me, and I never asked. But
fair enough.
there was one time specifically I remember at our church where they had everyone in the youth group stand around in a circle and hold hands and pray that they didn't pass the gay marriage bill. So there was that.
Jeez.
Yeah, the homophobic kind, at least.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like that's a lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah, yeah, no, I like for a while there, I was really like, I was just like, I don't fuck with Christians. Like, if you're a Christian, like, get away from me. Like, but
Yeah.
I've actually met a couple Christians who call themselves Christians, but don't believe anything you would assume the average Christian believes. Um, like I met a trans furry Christian in VR recently, and she's actually pretty cool.
Cool. Okay, next question. If you could change one thing about the world, regardless of scale, to make your personal life better, what would it be?
Can it only make my personal life better? Or can it make other people's lives better also?
Well, was it also making your life better in addition to making their lives better?
Yeah.
Then sure. Let's run with it.
That's a hard one because I don't want to accidentally destroy the planet. I overthink these questions so hard.
No, it's like a genie wish. Like you have to be very like you got to be careful.
I almost want to say like I feel like this would probably be world breaking, but what if it just made it so that no human can physically harm any other human? Like would that not work?
That'd be basic. But what about like kink?
Well, yeah, I guess then I have to place very
You,
specific definition on what harm means.
yeah.
Maybe just add the word no human can unconsensually physically harm another human.
Base. Yeah. That you have to have the consent in there. Okay. And then
That would probably break the world through some butterfly effect, but I feel like it. I don't know. I feel like things. How would things not get at least a little bit better? You know, in the end, I feel like that'd be a net positive.
I wonder how like CPR would work for that, because you know like sometimes it like breaks your ribs, but if you're choking, like you can't consent, or like if you're like unconscious, you can't consent. So like, would you not be able to do CPR anymore? Anyway, sorry, I also overthink stuff.
Or if someone is having some kind of mental crisis but needs help, like they have a fucking arrow in their arm or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Examples. They need to be harmed technically, but they're not consenting to it, so they're gonna bleed out and die.
Yeah.
But who's to say like that wouldn't happen very often, probably. So like maybe it's still a net positive in the end. That's why these questions are so hard. You can't have there's no perfect answer. There's always gonna be it's really hard to so if I were to do one thing to change the world to make it better for me, I'd probably get like my favorite guitar.
What is your favorite guitar?
Well, I guess I've never played the guitar I want the most. My Ichika Nito's signature Ibanez model. It looks really cool. I want to play it.
Cool.
That's my goofy answer. Also, maybe just like get my tattoos. I'm getting tattooed on Monday. I'm so excited. But
That's exciting.
That'd be also cool if I could just like have them on all over me without like having to actually like go through the process and pay for it. That's maybe another thing I would choose. That probably wouldn't break the world.
What are you getting on Monday?
I'm getting my stripies started on my hand and forearm.
Cool. What are stripies?
Like
just like actual stripes?
Yeah, I've posted like some like I like draw it on me on pictures on like Instagram and stuff. And it's like my persona. I guess I don't have any pictures of my persona too yet. I really need to get art of my persona. Anyways, yeah, kind of like inspired by like tiger stripes, wood, and Damascus steel. I can actually just show you on my phone.
Oh, those are cool. Oh my gosh. Those are what you've drawn on yourself, or is that just like inspiration?
Yeah, I drew these on my hand in Procreate. And yeah, kind of just inspired by like both or tiger stripes is like the main inspiration because like tiger kitty kimz, I want to be a tiger. And then also a little bit Damascus steel and like wood and like kind of liquid. Just like I wanted like nurturing vibes. I've redesigned them like over 10 times. And eventually I want them to go all over my arm, and then it's gonna go like kind of all over my back and then my right leg. Yeah, I'm excited.
Not your left leg?
No.
Do you want something else on your left leg, or just
I think I'm just gonna leave the left leg untouched. Yeah, all my other limbs are gonna have stuff, but not that one. My right arm's gonna be like my sticker wall arm. I've got like a little fox. So wait.
I think you hit the mute button also, just for whenever you get a chance. But that's a really cool tattoo.
It's a fox, and I've got other plans for this arm.
What do the symbols mean?
This is it's a language my friend it's a conlang my friend made.
Mhm.
Sam Hazen. Shout outs to the Echo Dolls, echodolls.com. She's really cool. She it's like it's the name of she's got it's hard to explain because there's levels to it. Okay, so she's like the Gorillas, right? She's got a fictional
Okay.
band set in her world that she's built that she does all the music for. She's all the members of the band, but it's her fictional band that does real
Yeah.
music in her world she built. She does 3D animations for them, all the music. She's got like a 300-page wiki on like her whole universe. It's crazy. It's very big. I've done like a little bit of voice acting for her stuff, and have helped with a couple things. And yeah, it just says the Echo Dolls in her language. Shade Jinro, I think is how it's said. I don't remember.
Cool. Cool. Oh, and I wanted to ask earlier, is your fursona a tiger? Because you're getting
Yeah.
all the based.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. What do you hope your life is like 30 years from now?
30 years from now.
I know that's a long time, but
How old will that make? 50? I'll be 55. Um, I'm hoping to have like done most of the shit I want to do by then.
yeah,
Um,
ideally.
yeah, like I really I've got a lot I want to do. Um, Mainly my biggest goal actually is to get to a point where I can play guitar on stage, but I have a lot to do to get there. Um, I have like chronic pains I have to deal with and figure out so I can practice more, and social anxiety. It's like it's both one of my biggest fears and my biggest dreams is to play on stage one day. Um,
Yeah.
um, and so yeah, I wanna make a lot of music and just have a lot of projects out, and then I wanna like dabble more, like I wanna get back into digital art and do a lot more painting, and I'm really trying to get to a point right now where I have a lot more free time to like work on art and stuff, because then I want to start like dropping albums and doing art more and like music videos. I used to be really into film. Um, uh, and then yeah, I just hope I'm comfy by the and like feeling accomplished by the time I'm 55, so I can just like keep doing whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. Ideally. Um,
I want to make fursuits one day too.
you
That's
make fursuits.
that's
Is that a hard process?
that seems pretty hard. Yeah.
What goes into like making a fursuit? I'm unfamiliar.
Some people 3D print like the face part and then like build foam around the head and like fur it. Some people glue some or I think most people glue and sew the fur onto the surfaces. I'm not totally sure. But yeah,
Mhm.
just a lot of foam cutting. Some people do entire foam heads, so they actually um carve and shape the foam into the shape of the head, which seems very involved and very hard and requires a lot of measurements and experience. So it makes sense
Yeah.
that they cost anywhere from like 3 to 10 grand. Because I've definitely looked into making them, and it seems so hard. And I don't think I ever want to sell fursuits, because being in communication with people for that long and like having to get all the like that seems like so hard. I already do customer service in a way that's like not nearly as serious or involved. Um, and that seems like a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the fursuit makers. Y'all are fucking keeping the community alive.
Shout out to fursuit maker. Um, let's see. How do you like to relax? What is your ideal Friday night look
uh, I haven't figured out how to relax.
like?
Unfortunately, I've been trying really hard, and I just can't do it. I never get bored, and I'm almost never relaxed. I'm
What do you
just
mean
all,
you never get bored? Like
I'm just always stressed, and it just always feels like I have stuff to do. Um,
yeah.
And so I'm either like pacing like until my legs can't don't work anymore, or I'm just like working brain.
Yeah. Um, if you could choose one place in the world to live, where and why?
I I I want my ideal situation is having like a small place that and like being able to travel often from there. So I think I'd maybe want my hub around San Francisco. Um that just seems like a good place to have my base. It's like center West Coast, and then I have people up and down the West Coast. And it's just like big queer city. But like obviously very expensive to live there, so like I'm gonna have to be making quite a bit if I want that to be a thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, the dream is probably to at least somewhat like just a small place outside of any city would be nice, honestly, any major city um in the US, and just like the ability to travel often, cuz like I like traveling more than anything. I don't like being in one place for too long. I feel best when I'm on the go.
Yeah. What do you have a favorite place that you've traveled to, or like I don't know? Do you want to share a travel story that stands out to you, or something like that?
I haven't traveled. That's funny because like I love traveling, but I haven't traveled much. I haven't had the opportunity. So my favorite place I've gone so far maybe is Sarasota. Honestly,
Hmm.
Sarasota, Florida. It's just like one of the prettiest, nicest places I've been, with like so many nice restaurants and stuff. But I've probably been to other places I would like as much if I had explored them as thoroughly. Um,
Yeah.
as Sarasota, because like even though I've lived like pretty much in LA my whole life, I haven't seen a whole lot of LA. So I don't even know LA as well as I do probably Sarasota at this point. Um, I just I struggle to go out. Um, but yeah, I think that's probably my favorite place I've been so far. That or Hawaii, but I don't remember going to Hawaii that well. I was taken there on a trip years and years ago, and it was like right after I started transitioning, and so I kind of just remember being really self-conscious the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you okay? That's a question I have. Do you still like get those feelings of self consciousness now that you're like post bottom surgery, or would you say that those have like been alleviated? I guess.
I definitely get self-conscious, but I don't think my self-consciousness ever really stems from gender dysphoria anymore.
It's just regular womanness.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, does my neck look weird in this shot type of stuff? Not like is
Yeah.
like I don't mind if like my Adam's like apple is showing. Like I don't I yeah, I did all the stuff I needed to do for to feel comfy gender wise.
Yeah.
Um and now I just get, yeah, like I guess regular like residual self-consciousness from
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
non-gender
But
stuff.
yeah, I think that's normal though, right? Like everybody gets a little self conscious sometimes, right?
Yeah.
um. Let's see. What makes you most excited for the future?
Whoa. Um A lot of stuff. Yeah, the idea that I can travel eventually. I really, I want to be able to go to conventions and visit friends and just like go around. I guess, yeah, that's what's got me most excited for the future, because I think I'm gonna get there at some point. Also for my tattoo, I guess the one thing I'm excited
Yeah.
about. I'm also
Yeah.
excited to see like I know it's like definitely gonna be an up and down battle for trans people, but it seems like the general consensus is that more and more, and like most Americans are like pretty chill with trans people. So I think like 10 years from now, things are gonna be a lot better for us. So I'm hopeful for that.
Yeah.
um
I'm also very
and I'm
hopeful for that.
and I'm pretty, like, I guess I would say excited, because like I don't really see it going the other way. Like that just like doesn't like feel like that's what's gonna happen. I
Yeah,
don't think it's just gonna like immediately start getting better for us, but I think down the line things are gonna be a lot better for us.
how do you think the election is gonna go this year?
No idea. This is something I probably shouldn't talk about because like I'm not as informed as I should be about like what's going on currently in the election. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut there. I know shit's
Okay.
bad. I know Project 2025 is horrifying. Um I I really just have to make sure I can keep my like I have to make sure I can pay my bills. I don't have time to like
Real.
read article after article about the current election. I really just I'm also dyslexic, so that makes it harder to read the stuff.
Yeah,
I hope
that
to be
makes
more
sense.
informed one day when I have more time and mental capacity.
No. Okay, let me see. How do you think your experience uh how do you think the experience is like in the industry as the porn industry, I'm assuming, as a trans woman versus as a cis woman? Does that make sense? I'm not sure if the question makes sense. But I think what they're basically asking like how do you think your experiences as a trans woman in the sex industry is like maybe like how do you think that compares to that of a cis woman? But I feel like that's tough to answer. But also, you
That is
might have talked to a lot of cis women about their experiences in the sex industry as well. But maybe
it.
not.
I actually don't talk to a lot of cis women. I almost talk to no cis women, not on purpose. It just
Hmm.
that's just how by coincidence. I That's a good question that I really haven't thought about much, and probably maybe should have. I don't know. That's a good question though. I'd say it seems like the market for I would assume it seems like the market for cis women is a lot more saturated. Um, and I would imagine it's a lot harder to get into this line of work as a cis woman. Like I'd imagine it's probably way harder. Um, uh, but I don't know. Because then at the same time, it's like there's so many like subreddits, for example, that are dedicated to just cis women that have millions of people like, following those subreddits that
Yeah.
trans women can't post to. Like the trans subreddits aren't as popular as those ones. So it's kind of hard to say. Um I know that I struggle there now because I was posting on the trans subreddits for a while and I was allowed to, but after bottom surgery, I am not allowed to post to most of those subreddits anymore because of,
Really? Oh yeah,
fetishization. And
because
then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't have the bit they like anymore. So I was trying to post on uh cis subreddits for a little bit, but they caught on to me. I was doing well in them too. But and they don't say that they're only for cis women. They just say no dicks. So like I technically wasn't breaking the rules, but they caught on. And they don't say specifically that they don't allow trans femmes, but they've made it pretty clear. So um there's really no good subreddits for me anymore. So I kind of just post to my own uh um, I forgot where this question started. I'm sorry.
It
Oh, right.
started.
How compared to
Yeah, yeah,
cis women sex workers? Yeah, I don't know. It's probably not too different. I'd imagine because there's like different fact. It seems like there's different pros and cons to each.
yeah.
Maybe
I I'll go.
you could say like even though the market's more saturated for cis women, there's also more of a market for them. So maybe it just evens out.
Yeah. One question I do have is how would you say your marketing has kind of changed over the course of like your career? Uh, your sex career?
um, I used to try a lot harder, um, like a lot harder, and like really try to think about like what to post and stuff. But then I just realized like that's not as important as just being seen. I started viewing it as like having a storefront, right? And I'm inside, managing it, but I'm also the person that's out front being like, yo, we got a sale on fucking pretzels. Come get it. Like, you have to be shouting at the people in the streets constantly. You
Yeah.
can't just be like inside grinding on like the perfect project for too long. You have to be dropping bullshit constantly. So I've tried for a while there. I was pretty much only dropping bullshit and just like shit posting and like low effort posts only. But now I'm trying to also have put effort into posts at the same time as my low effort posts.
Yeah. That makes sense. I'm curious how like the platforms that you used to promote have changed. Like you said that you kind of, excuse me, have been banned, or no, you're not technically banned from all the trans subreddits, but like you mentioned, you're kind of getting forced out now due to your bottom surgery. Are you using like other platforms, or are you like? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, I don't use Reddit as much anymore. Since bottom surgery, Instagram has been, actually TikTok was the best platform for me at first until I got banned twice. And now Instagram's been the best platform for me because you can get away with a lot more on Instagram. And who said it? Was it Kendrick Lamar who said Instagram is the best way to promote some pussy? Because that's so true, and that's actually what led me into doing it. I think it was him. He says it on that Kanye song, "No More Parties in
Hmm.
LA." I'm pretty sure that's him, right? I don't want to be wrong. Now I
I
have to look it up.
I'm not sure. Like Instagram Reels or like just like Instagram posts or like.
Okay, yeah, that's Kendrick. Reels and posts. But
Hmm.
mainly reels. Cause my posts will at most get like 3,000 likes. But reels I've had blow up on there up to like 3 million views.
Oh my gosh.
Which is all right when I start, like they were paying people for reels apparently. I had heard, which is like one of the reasons I started, but they stopped doing that like the minute, like
Oh
literally
my
like the
gosh.
same time I started getting views on my reels. So I could be making money from them, but I'm not.
That sucks.
I
That
always
sucks.
I always wonder how much money I'm making these platforms that don't pay me anything, like TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah. Are you back on TikTok? I remember when you got banned the first time, I like reached out to you because we're both in the trans femmes of TikTok Discord. Um, are you back on there?
Yeah. Yeah, no, my current account is what I did the D-trans bit on.
Oh my gosh. And I actually I do this like news segment called Trans Tea Time. You were actually in the first one that I did about the D-trans bit.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's funny. Anyways. Okay, you want to talk about the D-trans bit?
Well, I actually don't know. If you have any questions about it, that's I'm down to talk about it. But there's not necessarily anything I'm like burning to talk about. I pretty much talked about everything
Yeah.
I have to say about it on Instagram.
I think I saw what you said about it, but I don't know. For the sake of it, are you detransitioning?
No, but it's really just it's started as a complete goof actually. I put almost no thought into it. I was just like, oh, people will watch this and be like, what? She's transitioning? That's crazy. Who would have
Yeah.
thought? Like that's all I thought was gonna happen at first. Um, and it did though lead me into like I already felt like I was a little bit boy. Like I had a little bit boy in me. Um
Hmm.
and that kind of just like made me realize it was a little bit more than I thought. So that was fun.
Yeah. What is that like? I guess. Like, how would you describe yourself? Would you describe yourself as like gender fluid or like bigender or like?
Yeah. I was, yeah, gender. My brain keeps having farts. Um, I would say I'm gender fluid. I I like to call it omnigender because I kind of feel like all the genders
Yeah.
at once a lot of the time. Um, yeah. So I
Nice.
kind of had like a little bit of a switch. I like to try to hide it usually, but I feel like I should say something. Brain is braining. Because I wanted to say that Malachi, he's pretty much he's entirely guy. He is boy like 100%. And then Clementine, um, other end of the spectrum, she feels like almost entirely femme. And then we've got our boy Nixie, but he's a little more gender fluid. He's kind of like a femboy.
Mhm.
And Sierra is very kind of like she's kind of like a masculine woman. She like not really like she's a strong woman. Um,
Yeah.
I'm just all over the place.
Omnigender. It sounds like a very accurate description.
Yeah.
What is switching like for you? Like you said, when we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but you said that you had a switch there. Like what is that like?
Talking about it and thinking about it makes it, I think, have maybe trigger more easily or something. Cause
Oh,
like that's what I mean when I keep saying I'm having brain fuckery. It's literally just like I'm like exiting the
yeah,
so switching for us kind of feels like waking up from a dream a little bit. Like we're kind of aware what was just happening, but it's just like very disorienting and kind of just feels like swapping realities almost, I guess.
yeah.
So we use the car metaphor, like having someone in the driver's seat, which I guess I would say is like me, Kitty, right now. And then like Malachi's passenger seat. So like we've kind of just been like, um, usually this is usually how it is we're just kind of like switching back and forth between passenger seat and driver seat, but we get a little blendy sometimes, so like all of a sudden it's like we both have our hands on the wheel, and then things just get confusing and swervy. And then like Clementine's fucking asleep in the trunk. We don't know what we don't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
um it's hard to describe, but I think that's the best way we can.
Yeah. Thank you. Um, okay, there's two questions left, and I'll read them both, and that way you can decide which one's first and which one's second. Um, one is what is your biggest regret? And then the other is how does your porn career affect the rest of your life, negatively or positive?
My biggest regret? Um, I guess I have a lot of regrets. Biggest regret I'm willing to admit. Um, I regret not selling my Dogecoin when I should have.
Same. Oh my gosh. Me freaking too.
I put in like, I don't know, $200. I made 10 grand. I was up 10 grand, and I ha- I didn't know what I was doing. I was young, so I was like, I'm gonna make even more. I'm gonna make 20 grand.
No. I did the
So
same thing.
I did come out on top, and that's how I was able to afford VR, is because of the profit I got from Dogecoin. But I could have made like $8,000 more if I sold at the high.
Oh my gosh, that sounds exactly like what happened to me. Well, I think I invested a little more than 200, but I ended up it like peaked. I had 12,000 in my freaking Coinbase. I don't remember if it was Coinbase or what account it was. And then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna hold it. It's gonna keep going up." And then it crashed. And I ended up with like 2,000. Oh my
Okay, so
gosh.
it's just a Transfin Canon event to miss out on
Yeah, I
Dogecoin then.
guess. I guess. And I also had the embarrassing thing of telling a lot of people I knew about it, and then they invested in, and then all of them lost. They lost money too, and then I felt really bad. But
Oof.
yeah, yeah.
I,
Anyways.
hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. Are you still in crypto, or is that like something that you don't really do anymore?
No, I just felt like it was like one of those rare instances where I could just tell like the momentum was there for something.
Yeah.
Um, and I gave up after that because I really don't want to be like that type of finance person. I hate looking at my screens. Uploading my content is my least favorite part of my job by far. I hate just
Yeah.
like grinding on the screens. It's so not fun for me. um I and then the other question was that how I think my porn's gonna affect my future.
No. Well, we could ask that question as well. So sure, let's start with that. But that was not the question on my text note over there. So how do you
Oh,
think your porn is going to affect your future?
um, I don't know. If fucking Project 2025 passes, probably pretty negatively, but
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
it'll be illegal then. So
yeah. So, hoping that doesn't happen. It seems like it probably won't, right? Like, I try not to be
yeah,
complacent about it, but like, God, a little scary.
yeah.
So, but if it stays legal, uh, I feel like I don't know. I don't really see myself ever quitting. Like, I don't really see myself ever trying to like scrub the internet of my stuff. Um,
Yeah.
because I really have no interest in trying to be like a kid-friendly creator or like in any spaces with people who aren't adults. So I don't really have to worry about that. Um, and I'm really not embarrassed um, about my lewd stuff. Like, I'd be 100 times more embarrassed trying to play guitar like in front of you all than like going and like spreading my cheeks on Twitter right now. Um,
Yeah.
um, uh, porn.
Yeah. Do you see yourself as a porn star?
I mean, yeah, like technically, I think you could say I'm a porn star because, like, I think it's safe to say millions of people have seen my porn at this point, like, just based off the stats. So I'd call myself a porn star.
How does that make you feel?
Pretty cool. It, it makes me feel like no one can ever like say I'm like not attractive. Like no one, because like I have the proof. Like nah, like I
Yeah.
make a living off of being attractive, actually.
Real. Okay, so the question that they did ask was, how does your porn career affect the rest of your life, negatively or positively? So I guess this would be like social or reactions, maybe. I don't know.
How will it affect the rest of my life, negative or positively?
No, like how does it
How
currently? Like
does it? Oh,
in the present? Yeah.
um, well, positively, it's how I survive
Yeah.
currently. So there's that. I wouldn't say it does anything really negative for me right now. I'd say like besides just like it's really the capitalism that's fucking me up. Like the amount that I have to do it is what's driving me insane. But not like the thing itself.
Yeah.
Um, it's just like, yeah, the amount that I have to grind currently to function in capitalism. That's the part that sucks. Doing porn's cool. I don't think any part of that's affecting my life negatively.
Yeah.
I guess there have been a few times and actually pretty long periods of time, come to think of it, where it was something I dreaded because like I didn't want to like get horny on camera. And then I felt like I kind of like had to force myself to be horny, which like isn't a great feeling. So that there definitely have been moments where that really got to me because I like being like on the like not in that mood at all, but like still like kind of feeling like you have to is it doesn't feel great. But I hit a place recently where like I'm like enjoying making content again, so that's fun.
Yeah. That's awesome. Was there any like catalyst to that, or did it just kind of turn a new leaf one day?
What does catalyst mean?
Was there something that like caused it? Caused it
Oh,
to like be better?
I think I started putting more effort in again. I kind of just like fell into doing the same stuff for a bit, kind or just like not really trying to better my stuff. It's not like it was like the same constantly, but it was like I wasn't really trying to improve. But I've been working on getting better at like composition and lighting and like color grading and stuff like that. Uh and that's been just making me feel like, I guess, I don't know, putting in more effort makes me feel more confident about it, and like I'm not just like doing bullshit.
Yeah. And this is just a random question, but I'm curious what tech you're running with, right? Like, are you recording on your phone? Do you have like a camera? Like, what kind of camera? Like audio? Like, what does your like layout look like?
For my lewd stuff, it's usually just my phone. Because I got the 14, I think. Pretty nice cameras. I used to just just record with the front camera so that I can like see myself while I'm recording, but I got to a place where like I feel comfortable recording with the back camera even if I can't see myself. I tried screen mirroring, but like can't get it to work. Keeps freezing. Anyways,
Yeah.
started recording with my back camera, so some of my longer vids are a lot more high quality now. And then yeah, mainly it just like I realized that cameras like equally as important as lighting. I have not put enough effort into lighting over the years, so the last like couple months I've been like really trying to get better at lighting. And I think that's going well.
What kind of lights do you use?
Whatever I have around me, like right now I've just got this ring light on my desk, this cheap little like USB ring light, and then the lights from my window are actually kind of helping right now, and then I've got like these underneath my desk lights that also go behind my guitar over there.
Yeah.
And even things that just like draw the eye, like those aren't really adding any lighting to me, but they're making the scene more interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
like we've both got pretty visually nice scenes. If we didn't have these lights, we would look so boring. I'm just I didn't mean to say it like that, because neither of us look boring.
Well,
We are both very gorgeous people, and I take that
yeah.
back. It's not what I meant. We are both cat and we are both beautiful.
Yeah. I like how you looked into the webcam for that. Thank you. I really felt like you were speaking to my soul on that. But
I was talking purely from a visual lighting standpoint.
yeah, I knew what you meant. I wasn't offended. I wasn't offended. Um,
I just
yeah,
spilled coffee on myself.
Oh my gosh, do you want to like clean it up or you just
It's just in my hair. It's fine.
yeah. Okay. You're just making your hair a little darker, right? You're giving yourself. It's not highlights. It's like dark.
Yeah, I'm actually a natural
low
blonde.
lights. Wait. That's a meme, right? That was a joke.
No, yeah, I was saying like this is just from coffee.
Yeah, no. I figured that was the joke, but then I was like, wait, are you actually a natural blonde? And then I was like, wait, I feel like your hair's always been brown every single time I've seen you ever. So
I was actually blonde, and I used to bleach my hair in high school. I had blonde Justin Bieber hair for like 3 years.
oh my gosh. So is that your natural hair color, that like brown?
Yeah, I
Makes
love
sense.
it.
Yeah.
I was blonde as a kid. I was like one of those kids who's like very blonde, and then it turns brown over time.
Yeah. Oh, I have a question. Have you ever been recognized like out in the wild? Because you said you've been seen millions and millions of times. So like,
Yeah, actually, by 2 Starbucks workers, coincidentally. I was getting a drink one time, and the barista was like, "Do you have TikTok?" And I was like, "Yes." And in my head, I was like, "There's like a 50% chance this person's seen my pussy that's making my drink right now." Um, and then I got recognized by another, but she said she only recognized me because her friend watches me. And so I was like, oh, okay. So you're not Kitty Kim's fan. You know of me.
yeah, yeah. Was that awkward or like how did you feel when it happened?
Oh no, that made my day. That was like getting recognized feels so amazing. I get recognized in VR chat too. I got recognized by my voice once. Like, someone came up to me and they was like, "Wait, I know your voice." And then they came up to me and was, "I have a burrito and I have a vagina." And I was like, "Yo." Because that was the first TikTok I made after bottom surgery. And that was really cool. I love being recognized. It's so fun. I've often end up like I feel like coming across more anxious and excited about the situation than the person who recognized me. Like there was one time I was with a friend and his friend recognized me and they were like, no way, you know Kitty Kim's, what the fuck? And they like asked me for a picture and stuff, but then just like dipped so fast. And I was like trying to hang out and like be like, yo, like how do you know my friend? Like blah blah blah. But they just like wanted a picture and to dip. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was more excited to meet that person than they were to meet.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I like getting recognized. It's nice. I'm hoping I get recognized more once I get my tattoos. Because I feel like there's got to be probably people who recognize me in public, but they're like, is that really her though? And they can't tell. But once I got the tats, then they'll know for sure. And
Yeah.
I love when I love being recognized. I have a pretty big ego.
How would you say that's like affected you or impacted?
I don't actually have that big of an ego. I just like to say that for fun. I definitely, I have a lot of confidence, I think, and I probably have like, I don't know, somewhat of a big ego. Uh, but I don't think I also have a lot of social anxiety mixed in with that keeps me in check. So I don't think I get too cocky, but, I don't know, maybe I do.
Yeah. I If you weren't a porn star, what would you have wanted to have been? Does that make sense? That question?
Yeah, I always wanted to like I think I said earlier I always wanted to like have like I just wanted to be famous like
Yeah.
as a kid. Um and I've kind of always done music and art. So like I've always wanted to get somewhere with music. And just like I don't know, be artistic and have like my artism recognized. That's not even
Yeah.
like as important to me as anymore as like um just like having the ability to like do the stuff. Because like I just feel like I don't even have time to like create anymore. Before it was like about motivation, now it's just like I don't even have time to do it. um uh because like as a kid I was just like sitting around like I want to be famous, but like not actually doing anything to make that happen. um
Yeah.
uh but now it's just like fuck, I wish I just had like another like 2 hours to play guitar today, but I like rarely feel like I have the either time or energy because I'll have like been working all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanna do art and music mainly. That's like always been my thing. It's like art and music and acting. I don't know. I just I keep having like really bad brain farts. It's like I'm mid sentence and then I forget what I was saying and I try to keep talking, but then I lose it. I'm gonna stop now.
That's okay. I have a question. Do you want to like when you have your brain farts? Do you want to pick up on a different track, or is it like because you said you try to keep going? Is so like does that question make sense?
Yeah, it's more like no, it's not like changing subjects would probably be even harder. It's more like I just like it's like it's like you know how it's like sometimes visually as things start to like go black and like fade if you like stare at something for too long.
Yeah.
It's like that's what my brain's kind of doing. I can tell my brain's kind of just like shutting out the thoughts and I'm like, "Wait, I'm still trying to have thoughts."
Yeah. I do imagine that would make it very difficult to continue speaking um in the moment.
Yeah. Speaking is hard. Communicating is hard. Like what we're doing, this is some hard shit right now.
Well, thank you for doing it anyway. I appreciate you fighting through it for me.
I appreciate you. You're cool.
Thanks. You're very cool as well. Have you ever been interviewed before, or is this your first interview?
I guess this is probably like my first official one. How am I doing?
You're doing great. You're doing spectacular.
Fuck yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Well, the stereotypical trans response, shape shifting would be cool, but like I'm already kind of doing that one with science. So, um, I mean, I still think shapeshifting would be really cool. I think I would like the ability to freeze time so that I had more time to do things. Um, but then like I feel like that one's a cop out, right? Like, I don't know. Oh wait, I want genie powers so I can just like make stuff happen. I can just be like, oh, I want that to happen. What would you say? What would you say?
You want to be a genie? What are the limitations there?
I don't know. Do wait, genies can grant their own wishes too, right? Or is it only other people's wishes?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think you get to decide here since I'm asking you what power you would choose. If you
I
want
would
the power
say,
to if you want the power to grant
yeah,
yourself wishes, that's pretty powerful. You're
that's
pretty
powerful.
you're pretty much God at that point. Do you think you could handle being God? You'd be
I,
in
I
charge.
think I think I would just use it for dumb stuff,
That would
honestly. But
Yeah, but when you think about it, with great with great power comes great responsibility.
true.
You're in charge of the world at that point. Anything that
No.
happens is something that you could have prevented.
Stop. I take it back. I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm gonna go back to shape shifting. Because I feel like
That's a good one.
the freeze time is kind of the same thing. Because it's like, oh, like so they're about to nuke something, you need to freeze time and stop it, right? Or like, oh, there's a war going on, you need to freeze time and like take all the bullets out from the war zone. Like, I don't know. Too much pressure. What would you say? What's your power that you're going for?
Shapeshifting is always my go-to, because it's like pretty powerful. It comes with bonus powers. You know, you can fly, you can camouflage pretty easily. Like just a lot of bonus powers. I
True.
I could be my persona. I could have big titties one day, or just like really small titties, depending on my outfit. You know, lots of options with shapeshifting. Um, I love to ask people this question because when they say something really powerful like the genie thing, I'm like, oh, so you think you could handle becoming God? And then some people are like, yeah. And I'm like, that's weird. But then some people are like, oh wait, no, I probably don't want to be in charge of the entire earth and be an
Yeah, like
almighty powerful ruler.
it's too much. It's too much. And I didn't even think about the bonus powers that you get with shapeshifting, but that's so true. I think I would even use it to like change what I look like as a human being from day to day. Like some days I would just want to be, you know, very different looking. That's how I'll say that.
I feel that. Yeah. Um, be pretty handy, especially with the DID.
But yeah, because then you could like embody the person on the outside as well.
We just become this eldritch horror where we're like five like fucking furry heads sticking out of one body. That's like a five animal hybrid.
Biblically accurate angel. Oh my gosh.
That's what we would do. But yeah, it's also a good question to ask. It's a good icebreaker question to ask people. And if they say some shit like mind reading, red flag. You know, like I don't trust a bitch that says they want to read minds or change people's thoughts.
True,
That's
true. Because that's scary.
yeah.
That's like
That's
whoa.
like I've maybe come across one or two people who give that question who end up being chill, but usually that points towards an immediate, almost subconscious uh, answer towards breaking boundaries.
Yeah, red flag, red flag.
But yeah, try not to take it too seriously.
No, it's
When I
serious.
ask, but that is a little bit that gets me raising my eyebrow. Yeah, when
Yeah.
people say shit like that.
How nerfed is shapeshifting? Like, could you just shapeshift constantly, or is it like you get tired after you shapeshift, so then
Well,
you have to like?
I let people choose for themselves because when letting people choose their own limitations is also fun.
Yeah, but I like okay, okay. If I was in a D&D campaign, would the DM tell me it's a short rest kind of thing or a long rest kind of thing?
You're not getting the question. It's up for you to decide how powerful you are here.
Well, you also said shapeshifter, so I'm asking you what
So
you are
so
gonna do.
how okay, what are my limitations?
Yeah.
Anything I could change any part of my any organic matter, really, I think is what I say my limitations. I can shapeshift into any organic matter.
How does that work if you become something that like doesn't have a brain, right? Like what if well like
I
well
view it
the
as like if I wanted to turn into a tree, then I would just like keep my brain and like major organs like in the center, like around maybe where the roots are, you know, like protected by the tree,
yeah.
or like a rock, just be like a rock filled with guts.
Yeah. I wonder how time perception would work in that because like I've heard, you know, I've never talked to the trees. They've never told me this themselves, but apparently plants are like conscious. They're just like conscious on a very different time scale. So like trees are like
Oh yeah, don't plants
I
scream?
yeah, yeah, like and plants talk to each other and the trees like communicate through like underground networks and through like even like pheromone things. Honestly, it's all really cool. I think consciousness is really cool. But like, if your tree, is time gonna start flying by because you're observing things in tree time? Or do you still have human time?
I imagine if my brain was intact, like all my and organs were just like inside the tree that I became, my perception of time would probably stay the same.
Okay, what if you're like a fly, right? Because then your brain can't be the same because your brain's bigger than a fly. So then you gotta like shrink it all down. Now you're fly sized. Are you going at fly speed or are you going at human speed inside the fly?
These are the real questions. These are damn. I haven't thought. I've been asking this question for a long time, and shapeshifting's been my answer for years. I've not thought about this. I
I'm just
I
saying.
I would say maybe at that point, maybe I'm controlling dark matter without realizing it, and I take my brain and I shrink it so that it's the same brain, right? Like an Ant-Man, but it's just that
Yeah,
all the
yeah, yeah.
molecules are a lot closer together.
Yeah. If you could be
And
a
the,
superhero, which one would you be? Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, and then please finish your thought. But then I'm gonna ask the superhero thing.
Oh, I was just gonna say then maybe it'd also be like Ant-Man, where I'd become like a lot more stronger, like
Mm.
because he's like a lot more compact. So he
Yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um. Uh. Wait. Sorry. What'd you say after that?
Which
Oh,
superhero would you be?
like who? Like which existing superheroes' powers would I want?
I don't know. I don't even know about enough about superheroes. I probably won't even know who you say unless it's like one of the popular ones.
I
But
love superheroes. Well, I'm thinking Spider-Man right off the bat, but I don't think that's my answer.
ooh,
That's like just where my head went first.
yeah,
Um. God, whose powers do I want? Doctor Strange, that'd be too powerful. That'd be too much power for me. Um, is there anyone who like creates illusions? Like who can I like be that like would create I could just create illusions for myself. Is it 8 from Stranger Things? So I want number 11's sister. I want her powers. I want to create illusions for people and myself.
wait, how does that work? Like creating illusions? Are you like interacting with their brains, or are you creating illusions in like physical reality?
She makes people see things like whatever she wants them to see, pretty much.
That sounds like mind control, Katie. What the heck?
Well, okay, wait, no, because okay, wait. Fuck. Okay, no, it's different because okay, I'm not changing. Fuck. Okay, no, you got. I never thought of it like that. Okay. Mind control, that is a little bit mind control, huh? But I think you could have that power and like she doesn't really break boundaries with it, right? Okay, so like she makes cops see shit so she can get away from them. Which
Yeah.
like she doesn't do like I wouldn't really say the way she uses it is like an invasion or like, but I don't know. It definitely is walking on the line.
And
Um,
because is that her being a good person? Like, what if like Homelander had the same powers? Would he use it in the same way?
yeah, because it's also not it's not like fully mind control because you're influencing people's thoughts, but only because it's like lying, but like more. Whoa, we're getting
Does
into
she like?
some very
Does,
interesting ethical territory.
does so she makes them like hallucinate, right? Like basically, kind of.
Pretty much, yeah. Like her friend, like one of her friends is like being mean to like this to 11, and so like she and he like kind of gets starting rough with 11, and so she makes her friend see spiders crawling all over his hand so that he stops.
Benadryl. Oh my gosh.
Benadryl? Is that something Benadryl makes you experience?
Like
Like
I
bugs on your
think
skin? That sounds terrible.
I think if you take like a bunch, like cause I think some people trip on Benadryl, but then if you take too much, you start like seeing shadow people and like spiders and bad
Scary.
things. Yeah, I've never done. I've that's not my thing. That's not my department. But that's the word on the street, I think. Okay, let's see. I think somebody has a question. Question for her. What is pornography, like philosophically speaking?
I saw someone answer that question really well recently. Um, I also there was another answer. Who said I can't define pornography, but I know it when I see it. I feel like they were using that in a toxic, like a bad way, but I almost kind of feel it at the same time. Like I'm just remembering on fucking I think of
I think.
Parks and Rec. Someone asks what pornography is, and a girl who's playing a porn star is like, for me, it's when the penis goes in. Uh,
Hmm?
that's also real. I think it's a hard thing to define. I think it's pretty vague. Um, like you could just say, uh, stimulation of the genitals on camera. How about that?
True, but does that mean like strip teases are not porn? Well, okay. Whose genitals are being stimulated? That's. Oh wait, you said on camera. On camera.
Yeah.
So I. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd say striptease probably, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't call that porn, honestly. Like,
Hmm.
cause like I think nudity by itself isn't porn. So like you could call that just like dancing, like artistry even. I don't know. If it's
True,
for
true.
if it's for the purpose, it's so contextual. Like I try not to give hard definitions on things because it's contextual. Like colors.
Yeah.
A striptease can be like chill and like not sexual, I think, but can also be sexual. I don't know.
Do you think porn is art, or do you think
Yes.
it's like its own distinct thing?
I think it's art for sure. Um, I think I think there's probably I don't like to define what is and isn't art. So like if someone wants to call something art and they're like, I made this is my art, I'm like, that's your art. Fuck yeah. Um, I'm quick to call things art, but I'm really not quick to say something isn't art. I would say most porn is art because there's a lot that goes into like thinking about composition, how it's gonna make people react emotionally, and that's really like the main part of art.
Do you consider, or like, would you consider yourself like an artist with your porn, or would you consider yourself more of like, well, yeah, open-ended question. I know that
Yeah,
wasn't open-ended, but
I actually, I'd say some of my porn is art. I'd say so, like some of it I would consider like, okay, I nailed this lighting and composition. This looks great. Like, um, I put some artistry into this, but sometimes it's really just me turning on my camera and like filming me having fun, and that's all it is for me.
yeah.
Like if someone else wanted to call it art, I wouldn't deny it. Um, But yeah, I think art is also something that can't really be easily defined like pornography.
Do you
I try
watch any
s-
content? Oh, sorry.
I try not to be too vague, but I also try not to have like too concrete of answers for things.
Yeah, you got to keep it fluid, right? Do you watch any content creators? I know you said that you work most of the time, and so you don't have a lot of free time. But like in the little free time you do have,
I don't I don't like watch a lot of content creators, to be honest. I get trapped in like the trap of just browsing like reels and TikTok and just like scrolling for longer than I mean to. Um, uh, but yeah, there's not really like anyone I go out of my way to watch necessarily, I guess, except for right now. I've been really into chess lately. So every morning I've been like drinking my coffee and waking up and watching chess YouTubers like Gotham Chess and fucking um what's his name? Uh Fuck, I'm so bad with names. I'm blanking on his name right now. There's another guy I've been watching too though. Oh, and also this like guy from the UK I watch sometimes. I don't know. I'm really into chess right now because there's a lot of chess drama in the chess world apparently, and
is there?
yeah, it's
What is
really
the tea? What is
it's
the
really
tea with the
entertaining.
with the chess drama?
It usually just mainly seems like it has to do between that Hans Niemann person and Magnus Carlsen and just grandmasters accusing each other of cheating, um, that type of stuff.
What do you
um,
think? Are they cheating? Do they have the vibrating butt plugs to figure out?
I'm not great at chess, so like my opinion only means so much. But from everything I've seen, it does seem like Hans is a cheat. At least did cheat. I mean, well, it was confirmed that he has cheated at least twice. So seems likely he's probably cheated since then instead of just randomly, becoming so good he can fuck up Magnus Carlsen, the greatest in the world. That
Yeah,
doesn't seem as likely as he just found a way to cheat and get away with it.
true, true. Do you play chess or do you just like watch chess?
I've been playing quite a bit the last like month. I've played like on and off like really casually my whole life. But now I've been playing like a lot. Um, I don't know what came over me. I just like can't stop all of a sudden, and it's like a problem almost. I get
Yeah.
really emotional about it when I lose. Um, and I really like chess.
Do you have like a rank or do you like not play that
It's
competitive?
embarrassing because like I shouldn't even be getting as emotional as I'm getting because I'm literally like 400 elo. Like,
What does that mean? Like what's the scale? I don't know a lot about chess, so
I think Grandmaster's around like I don't want to say the wrong answer. Let me look up what Grandmaster elo is. Minimum elo for Grandmaster is 2500. You have to hit 2500 at some point. Okay, that's what
you're like almost there.
Yeah, totally. I'm uh I'm 400, which is pretty bad. Like I don't think you're considered to be like even like kind of good until you're at like 1,000. But I don't know how accurate my ranking is either because I haven't played like a whole lot on chess.com. I'm doing like the 1200 puzzles like I'm around 1200 elo for the puzzles and I'm around like 1,000 elo for my daily games. So I don't really know like what accurate rating for me is.
It sounds like you're at least kind of good. You said 1,000 is kind of good, so
Yeah,
solid.
but I might not be 1,000. I don't really know because on my the speed games, like the 20-minute games, I'm only like 400 and I keep getting my ass kicked by people who are like 3 to 500.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I love chess. Chess is so cool.
Have you always been like super into it? Or you said you played casually, but like what was there something that like what sparked you said just it's just been the past month, but like what sparked it? Was there just like one day you woke up and you were like, today is my day to play the oldest game in the world?
Um my friend has been playing a lot also, and just like has been wanting to play with me and just like kind of really got me into it.
Cool.
Got me into it again, I guess.
Yeah. Cool.
Do you want to play?
What do I click? Matchboard, flat, wafer, sky aisle, wafer
There we
up.
go. Oh, I also chose
Okay.
wafer, yeah.
So you go first because you're white, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you're busting out the horsies. Let's see.
Nay.
Kitty Kim says, "Don't open the peon." What does that mean? I don't know. Okay.
Don't open the what?
I don't know. It says at the top left of my screen, Kitty Kim says, "Don't open the peon."
Oh. I don't think I said that. I don't know what a peon is. Speaking of which though, I do kind of have to pee.